Yo, YouTube, man, it's your boy ATM.E in today's video, bro, David might be spotted on CCTV. I think he got caught up. I think they found him, or whatever it is he tried to hide. Caught his ass. I think so. So let's tune in. Okay.
So we've got a lot of new information regarding the David case. Celeste's body has officially been released by the LAPD. New reports suggest David may have been buying fake IDs for Celeste, and the homeowner of the Beverly Hills mansion David was living in confirmed there was in fact CCTV placed all around. So hopefully they should capture whoever murdered Celeste. We should be getting a breakthrough soon, so let's get into it. So what I think is the most interesting news story that broke was about Celeste potentially having fake IDs, and he was buying them for her. So here this article posted exclusive information by TMZ, cops eye runaway past, troubled home life. So as we know, she ran away multiple times. Her teacher stated in that clip that the police already got her from David's home once already, but then she just ran away again and went back to him. Our sources sit home once already.
The girl David killed was in my class, in my teacher class. What the fuck? Bro, this is getting weird, bro.
But then she just ran away again and went back to him. Our sources say homicide detectives believe there's lots of evidence Celeste comes from a troubled home and that may have triggered her desire to run away. Now here's where it gets interesting. Our sources say the way Celeste was able to navigate on her own was by having multiple fake IDs in an attempt to present much older than she was. Now look, fake IDs are not cheap.
Grown ass man, bro.
Attempt to present much older than she was.
Beard.
Now look.
What, you got a beard, bro? You a grown ass man, my nigga.
Fake IDs are not cheap, and as we know, Celeste came from a troubled home, meaning she probably didn't have a lot of money, she wasn't getting any pocket money. And these fake IDs, I'm not sure how much they are in the US, but I'm presuming like $100 minimum, maybe a couple hundred, let's say like $100. And she's not getting that money on her own, she can't work, she's like 13, 12, she was 14 like in 2025, but I doubt she was working. Now, you know who has a lot of money, and we have proof was sending her money? David. We literally...
Wait, how many racks can I have? Give me 10 bands right now. Wow.
We have iMessage text that show Celeste asking for 10 racks and David sent her 9,000. So potentially David was buying these fake IDs for her, or she used the money that David gave her to buy the fake IDs. And I'm not sure why she would need them. I'm presuming to get into clubs and stuff like that, potentially with David. If she wanted to get to certain events with David, she needed an ID. And here we actually have some very cool footage. It's of all the unmarked police cars at David's mansion. And if we skim through... Oh, I think this is the area that Tesla was discovered. Oh yeah, and this is David's house. Look, they check in the garage. Then there's a bunch of unmarked police cars, police officers, detectives, investigators. They're doing some swabs, it seems like there. But yeah, a lot of police. I'm presuming this was like a couple of days ago when the home was raided. Seems like there's another vehicle inside. Maybe that was the manager's car. But yeah, we don't really see what's going on. Like, we know they're testing for blood, for DNA, any potential evidence that could show us what happened to Celeste. That's another test they're doing. They're shaking it. I don't know. I remember in science class you have to shake stuff and then it would show the results. And they're wearing like blue gloves, so these guys are like the I don't know, the detective DNA people who are doing all science, fancy science stuff. So this is actually another good point. It's apparent police think Celeste might have been killed inside the home David was staying at because they obtained a search warrant allowing them to search for blood evidence inside the residence. We do not know what...
To be honest, bro, it's kind of like with this David situation. I like learning more about it. But it's kind of like, bro, it's just so much shit going on, bro. And it's like, I don't, it's just crazy, bro.
What, if anything, police discovered? And the police, of course, have not revealed if they have a suspect. However, obviously, that's not really good news. You know, we haven't got any good news regarding, like, have they found anything? Is David a suspect? Because right now, it looks like he might get away with it because they don't have a cause of death. There's no good evidence. However, the homeowner said, house has external cameras, security cameras, can't enter, exit undetected. So Malden Trifunovic was the guy that owned the home that David's manager was renting. And look, these are the CCTV cameras. So this is like the front door. And then these are the ones in front of the garage. The homeowner says says the cameras are positioned at entry points in the backyard and on the street, and he believes people cannot go in or out of the house without being recorded. So let's say Celeste was killed inside the house, and presuming David would get her through the garage, and then the Tesla will be parked inside the garage or at the front. So it'll be shown on this CCTV camera or this CCTV camera of him leaving the house and driving Celeste down the street, if he did it. Now the homeowner says he doesn't have access to the security footage, he doesn't want his tenants to think he's spying on them, and when tenants move in, he gives them the info for the security company and they create their own account to access the cameras. The landlord said LAPD has not told him anything about the investigation or if cops obtain security footage, but he doesn't see why police wouldn't get their hands on the video. Yet the police have definitely already got that video, they've already subpoenaed the security company 110%, there's no way they're not. Now I feel like this would give us a breakthrough, you know, if David's leaving his house randomly at 4 AM, dragging a black bag with him, or I don't know, even just leaving the house at 4 AM, and then they track him using the neighbor's cameras or like Ring doorbell to see him driving down the road and dumping the car and presumably walking back. Now look, a lot of people have been concerned about that there's no cause of death and that this may help David get away. However, there's actually still possibility that he may get charged and arrested if they don't find a cause of death, and this smart guy here is going to explain it to us.
Thought somebody was murdered and it turned out later it was an OD. We had one once where the person committed suicide, it turned out. So we don't know yet. Now she was dismembered.
Now that's a good theory. What if Celeste ended her own life, or she OD'd by accident? And well, David didn't want a dead child inside his house, so he put her in his trunk and hid her body. Now this guy said she was dismembered. Apparently that's not actually true, and apparently the only reason they said it was dismembered is because the body fell apart due to it being decomposed so badly.
Bro, what? What the fuck? The body fell apart due to it being decomposed so badly. No way, bro. Or rest in peace to this girl, bro. Like, it don't make no sense, bro. This is actually crazy.
Certainly didn't do that to herself, but we don't know from the coroner's office yet exactly if they have a cause of death, what it was. We don't know. And I'm going to suspect a dismembered, heavily decomposed body like that, it's going to be tough to tell. There are certain telltale signs depending on what was in there, what they actually recovered. But at this point, we don't know. But I think in this one, given the high profile nature, they're devoting the resources and they're doing it right. And the detectives, I've worked with this unit before, and these are hard-hitting, no-nonsense women and men at the LAPD who know what they're doing. So they're doing all of that stuff. They're going through the computers. They have forensically worked up that house, probably top to bottom. They're looking for her DNA. They're looking on any instruments that may have been used to dismember her. I've already seen some of the conspiracy theories come out, and one of the questions I saw is, who would be stupid enough to put the dead body in the trunk of their own car? And the answer to that is most murderers. Most people, especially when they kill for the first time, make a million mistakes. And this...
Wow, that's actually kind of crazy, because people are saying like there's no way it's David, or why would he put the body in his own trunk? Well, as this guy says, who is clearly in that field, he knows what he's talking about. Apparently the majority of first-time murderers make a lot of mistakes. They probably did it without thinking, and now the only place they can put it is their trunk. So apparently this is quite common. And even though David is a celebrity, at the end of the day, he's still a normal human who makes human mistakes. And one of these were putting the dead girl he possibly killed, allegedly killed, in his trunk, just like all the other first-time murderers.
I think that what's happening in addition to the forensic stuff right now is they are doing gumshoe police work, and they are interviewing every single person they can find that was in his orbit, that knew about their relationship, what the circumstances were, if any. And it certainly sounds, I mean, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence right now indicating that there had been some sort of close relationship between them.
I have 20 seconds, but I've got to get you on the record here. If they can't come up with a cause of death, is that brutal for this case? No,
you can still prosecute you can certainly prosecute. I mean, I did 5 no body cases where we had no exact cause of death either. So you can certainly do it. But it does throw a wrinkle in there. If you've just got a decomposed, torso, or depending on what's available, what I would be asking if I was them is the hyoid bone. That's a bone in the neck that's consistent with strangulation. That's something that doesn't go away with decomposition. I'm sure they're looking at that. If it's true that her head was recovered, they can find what's called petechial hemorrhaging in her eyes, indicating strangulation. Bones will leave marks concerning stabbing. So the forensic pathology here is going to be very interesting. And again, the coroners in LA County are the real deal. They know what they're doing. So we'll have to see.
And let's hope, let's hope that they do all.
Okay, so I was actually saying, like, if you strangled her, then, that might not be visible on the skin, but it seems like, yes, you can actually see it from the bone in her neck or something along those lines. And this guy said, apparently the LA coroners are the real deal. It's a major city. They're probably very well paid and the best of the best people. So I don't see how they could mess this up, maybe they will, but I just don't understand how they could not find the cause of death. I mean, as this guy said, he had 5 cases before where there was no cause of death. However, they still went forward with them. So even though they don't find a cause of death for Celeste, I think they're still going to go ahead with it simply because of so much social media evidence. They're probably going to interview a lot of people around him, and also she was found in his car. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, they also sweeped his entire place. They're going to find some type of DNA or something along those lines there, some type of blood, weapon.
This is the thing, bro. I feel like somebody's being paid to have something, bro, and it's to the point where it's so obvious that somebody's getting paid to hide something that's going on in the investigation. Because think about it like this. Look at how, a couple years ago, look how fast YNW this is a not exact case, but a similar case to YNW bro. YNW he was accused of unaliving his friends in the vehicle, right? No evidence. Till this day, he's still going on trial, trying to figure out if he's even guilty or not guilty. Off rip, YNW got locked up off rip. How is David still out here? And there's more evidence that there is of David unaliving his girlfriend that's 14 years old, other than evidence of YNW unaliving his friends. How is YNW locked up so quick and David isn't? Obviously, it has to do with they're both the same race. Can't say because they're both black. It has something to do with status and money. Somebody's being paid to hide stuff out, to hide things, to keep. It has to do with money, bro. Has to, bro. Somebody's being paid to hide things, and whoever's hiding is not hiding that well, and everything's coming out to the light. Whenever you're telling lies, everything comes to the light eventually. So I feel like, bro, somebody's getting paid to hide certain things, bro, for a fact.
Maybe. Aside from that, Celeste's body has finally been released to her family. It seems like they finished doing her in the investigation with her body. They've probably done all that they can. They probably sent off the liquids and all the other testing kind of stuff. They've sent that off. It's going to take like a month or 2 for that to come back. But the body's finally been released to her family. And Celeste's family can now claim her remains. Now, in other news, he actually made his Fortnite profile private, which means you can't see him like if he's playing anymore, which we actually could see that prior. So it seems like he's scouring Reddit and Twitter and he saw that people are checking his Fortnite profile. Now, this is actually quite weird. So some closer shots of Celeste at the concert on the 25th of August at Silver Springs. So David did in fact have a concert at this date, and some people think this is Celeste on the balcony next to his brother. Here she is again. Now, she's actually wearing a black tube top, and you know what Celeste was wearing when her body was discovered, a black tube top. And it makes sense, she's backstage with her brother. Here's like an AI enhanced picture, and it kind of looks like her. And another guy on Twitter actually showed that David was waving to her, and then even showed a like a love heart to her, as you can see here. See, he showed a little love heart. So it seems like that was her at this show on the 25th of August. Now, I'm not sure, this is not 100%. And we've seen her backstage at concerts before with her brother. So does that mean she was killed late August, start of December? It's so confusing. Like, I genuinely have no idea what happened. I have no idea how the police are going to solve this. Here's another picture comparing them two. It's very low quality, and YouTube is probably going to compress the quality and make it look even worse, but it does kind of look like her. Same curly hair, wearing a black tube top.
Let's see this shit. Okay, boom. It does not look like they got the. It looks like she has brown hair. She has black hair. But it's man. It doesn't look like the same person. It just looks like, damn. That shit low key do look like the same person. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Low key, just a little bit. Just a little bit, but there's differences. The brown hair and the brown hair, just the hairline, moon, and then comes down right here at the eye. There's a moon right here, and it comes down at her forehead. This moon goes down to her eye. If that's the same hairstyle that she uses, bro, it's gonna look exactly similar. Trust me. If she uses that hairstyle a lot. Brown eyes, black eyes. At the nose, there's like a curve right here. Not so much. The chin is more bigger than right here. Yeah, it doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't look like her.
Which is what she was wearing when she was discovered. Similar facial features, you get the point. Now, here's where it gets even weirder. At a concert he had on the 18th of September 2024, over a year ago, he had these AI images, and it looks like this is him and Celeste, and they grew older together. Like, what? This is literally Celeste. She's got kind of that darker, kind of Hispanic skin, and the curly hair that she had. And then this is David, and they're kind of together sleeping, and they grew old together. Very weird considering she's 14 years old, but that is definitely her. This is sick as hell. I hope he gets what he deserved. Now, this gets really weird. In December of 2024, this guy on TikTok would actually expose David of meeting up with kids and paying them to stay hush about his relationship with a kid. I'll play you guys a clip.
Popular artist got caught giving thousands of dollars to kids. Now, why did he do this? To hide his little secret of him dating a minor. Yup. Who knows if he's still dating this minor though. And people coming, proof. Why the fuck else would he randomly go unnoticed, no one knows about this, to meet kids, bring them canes, give them thousands of dollars? Why else would he do that? Why else would any celebrity do that? You know exactly why. And I'm not just guessing here. This is a picture from someone who knew the girl, and they told me this story.
Yeah, wow, so of course this was a year ago, before anyone knew about this, before her body was found, before anyone knew who she was. And
I ain't gonna lie, as a kid, bro, you really don't need that much money. You don't even know what to do with $1,000 anyway. Like, I swear to you, like, when I was the age of 15, I really did not. Even when I was fucking 17, bro, I did not know what to do with $1,000, bro. Like, what am I gonna do with that shit? So as a kid, I feel like kids still gonna tell regardless. Especially they in the suburbs, they still gonna tell regardless. Like, they ain't doing nothing wrong. Why wouldn't they tell the truth? Why the fuck would they lie for somebody?
this guy knew. He tried to post a video, but it seems like people doubted him. I can't get over how many people knew. I mean, this video was posted almost 9 months prior to her body being found and 4 months prior to him playing at Coachella just wild. Yeah, it's crazy how many people actually knew, yet no one really did anything about it, or maybe it was more so of the police ignoring it and that her family didn't care. Maybe her family even encouraged it, because as we spoke about in my last video, her family may have wanted her to be with him because he was rich, this rich superstar celebrity who could have taken a family out of poverty. Now here's some kind of exclusive information these guys posted, the Leonard files. Car was noted to observe for parking citation on the 27th of August. NBCLA, the Leonard files, posted their own investigation into the case and discovered interesting information about the Tesla. A city worker initially noticed and marks the car for a 72-hour observation on August 27th. That means Celeste could have absolutely been at the Maryland show August 24th, and it still fit the timeline. It was noted for the 72 hours expiring on the 3rd, and then finally impounded. There's waiting periods between citation and towing. So she may have actually been murdered very late on, late August, after that Maryland show, which was on the balcony with her brother, with David's brother, and it kind of fits in as we got this parking ticket here, or citation. So the Maryland show was on the 24th, this citation was on the 27th, so let's say they went home after the Maryland show, he killed her around the 25th to 26th, 27th maybe, and the citation expired.
I can't listen to this no more, bro. I ain't gonna lie, it's actually crazy. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, bro. I'll continue to do updates on David to see what happens. Hopefully they get some answers soon. I can't keep on listening to. I ain't gonna lie, it sounds crazy, bro. Like, I got nieces and like little cousins that's her age, bro. I can't listen to this, bro. I'm gonna catch up with y'all later, and I'm gonna give y'all an update on David. No cap.